Good morning, all. So I've had a question about the featherweights and how you can get them. So if you go to the website, again, if you're on John's Facebook group, there may be other ways to grab these files, but I usually put a link to John's website so you can go in here and peruse his amazing games. You can actually order hard copies from him, contact him, check out his blog, which I'm not certain he's got much going on there. I have no idea, but most importantly, this is where you can grab all the game files and seasons free. So yes, on January 5th, so you want to go to free to Fight Card Boxing. And then once it pulls you into Fight Card Boxing, you want to go to Boxers. And then right there is the Featherweights PDF. So for those who don't know, and you can click on it, you can either look at them here. If you click up here to the box, you can expand it. And then once you're in here, you can download it right here or print it straight to your printer if you have a really good color. I wish I did. I end up having to, I literally do not own any kind of printer, so I have to go to Office Depot. So this stuff always costs me money, but I would have saved a fortune if I owned a printer, damn it, but I don't. My point is, and then you can print it or download it directly right here. And so I wanted to point that out. Let me see if I can go backward. How do I shut this now? Nope. How do I go back? Shoot. Let's pull this down for a sec and navigate back. Okay, let's shut that. Oh, here we go. Boom. So anyway, you can get all the boxers in one set. You can also get just the heavies, the lightweights. So on January 5th, he put this up. He may have sent me an email of the featherweights a day or so beforehand, but I only got them printed out yesterday and started playing. So again, for those of you who didn't realize it, everything that John does is complimentary, meaning it is free, but you're going to have to do the heavy lifting of printing it and cutting it, paying for that if you don't have the printer, etc. But there it is, folks. Featherweights are right here. I love this set. I don't know if this is exactly I think it is. I think it's the same boxers. I sent him 32 boxers. I had wanted 32 feathers, retired feathers. The featherweights I deemed some of the greatest in history, or at least worthy of a file, and very dynamic fighters. And the reason for that is I love seeing, and John pointed this out when he made it, the work rate is low for a lot of these guys because they don't knock out lots of boxers. So here's a guy who had 1,000 rounds, only 20 knockouts. That's why his work rate low is ultimately, 20 into 129. He's got a low work rate, and that's going to create very dynamic fights that are just fun. They're just great fun. And feathers just don't generally dominate with knockouts like middles and even welters, etc. So you're going to not see, a guy like Alexis Arguello truly was a dominant power puncher from the beginning to the end of his era. So Henry Armstrong, very, very solid. Again, he worked his way all the way up. I think he made it all the way up to middleweight, if I remember right. Abe Attell, amazing. Again, these may not look good, but when you consider the man fought 103 bouts and had 38 knockouts, that's the nature of the data available. So anyway, it's amazing. And there's some really interesting dynamic opportunities here. Again, a guy like George Dixon's going to look bad, but not compared to what he did. 160 bouts, only 36 knockouts. He fought from 1886 to 1906. This is back before there were round limits. This was pugilism without rules for the most part. There were some sanctioned bodies that had rules, and some types of fights were illegal. But the reality is George Dixon's numbers are going to give him these numbers, but it's going to allow for these dynamic fights. And so I love it. I love the dynamism of the featherweights. So anyway, I think it's worthy of the fight cards. Very simple, very clean, brilliant mechanic. I've said it before. John's games are accurate. Again, boxing is only going to be as accurate as we have actual statistical data to back it up. His data is going to be only based on the amount of data available to every boxer on record, right? So, what his games don't do, and their simple, clean setup and play as a game, and they are games because anytime we roll dice, we are engaging in a game between two adversaries. Where it is not a game is it's not between you and the mechanism or between you and the adversary. It is between the two adversaries or the two football teams or the two basketball teams. But there is a definite game happening between Aguelo and Arizmendi. So what is occurring here is there is no detail for you. You have to imagine what those 8 damage points on Arizmendi look like. Something like Glory Days is going to tell you, oh, he landed 4 punches landed for 4 points. So you can imagine he threw a hook jab, hook combo, a double tap jab with a hook, a follow-up uppercut, and he scored 4 points. It does the imagination for you. Here, 8 points of damage were done. It leaves it to me to decide what that looks like. Now, John has multiplier details, and he has multiplier multiplier details chart, and he also has what happens when the fight ends with a KO or ends because another boxer loses all of his endurance, and those become your details of how that occurred. But John doesn't put up any pretense of how Alexis Aguelo is doing this damage. Unlike Title Bout, there are other games that want to do the imagining for you. Legends of Boxing, Glory Days of Boxing, Title Bout, they want to tell you it was a left hook for 3 points, or they want to tell you it was a 4-punch combination. And that's great. It draws you into the punch-to-punch action, which ultimately this abstracts out into damage per round and makes it fast, clean, and as accurate as the data would allow based on the engine he uses. So anyway, all of John's stuff is available on Powder Blue Sports under free downloads under the game. You can also get it, I think, through his Facebook groups, links to his Google Drive. I don't know, but I only ever share the website link so you can find a way to contact John yourself. And you can also, if you want to order hard copies, like I've done, then you would be able to contact John and do that. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.